We scraped it. A lot of talking points, a lot of negatives, a lot of positives. Let's get straight into the video. Alrighty, now the first thing is, there's a confusion before the game started. Apparently, Chalobah was supposed to start and Christensen was supposed to be out of the team. Obviously, the website, the Twitter page, the Instagram page, the fifth stand also said that, Christensen was going to be starting, but obviously it was revealed not long after that it was the wrong photo, and that was revealed by Chelsea youth. Chalobah did quite well in the game in the beginning. Chalobah did give away the ball a few times, and I think all three of the backline players gave the ball away, or at least 3 or 4 times in the game. So obviously it wasn't the greatest performance when it comes on to distribution of the ball from the defense. Now, we all know that a lot of things had happened in this game. In particular, the embarrassing penalty miss by Jorginho. He looks foolish, when he misses. And, commentators will say that. He says that when it plays off, it looks like it's one of the best, or it's world class. And when it doesn't come off, or when it doesn't play off, you look like a loser. You look embarrassed. So at the end of the day, he looked as if he was embarrassed. He lifted his head up not long after that. He was disappointed, you could see in his reaction, but he expressed throughout the entirety of that game that he could have done things. He got forward a bit more, because we all know that Kante and Jorginho one of the two have to live up, or not, probably live up is not the right word to use, but they have to go up to that level of what Kovacic was doing, distributing the ball. We're seeing Kante do that. We saw Jorginho come up a bit. And obviously, we saw that the backline, and this is something that tends to happen with the backline, is that we see them coming up a bit further, and they'll be in the midfield, and then you have the midfield that is a bit more advanced. So sometimes you see them wide, close to Alonso, and I mean, we saw that Kante was progressing forward. Jorginho progressed forward at least 4 times throughout the game. He got away. He got past players. He made passes to Alonso, Mount, and so forth. Same with Kante. Kante took a couple of shots. Mason Mount was making a lot of shots to me, which made no sense because he was wasting the opportunities that we had. He was trying to shoot from distance, and I can respect you trying to do that and try your luck. But you can't be wasting those opportunities when a game of this caliber is so important. So to me, I was a bit frustrated at that very moment. Now, we all know that Lukaku comes on. Kai didn't really perform to the highest level, but obviously to me, I saw him mostly wide. Obviously, we saw Werner. Werner was doing quite well. He was making passes to Alonso, making passes to Kante, making passes, to Mason Mount. They were working well on that left side, and it was fantastic to see. Now, Lukaku comes on for I think it's Kai Havertz. Pulisic comes on for Werner, and Mason Mount stays on, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek is replaced by Ziyech. All 3 subs happen at the same time, probably not the same time, but the substitutions happen at the same interval per se. So it was fantastic to see those 3 players come on, and all 3 of them making a little impact. Obviously, Lukaku is the one that wins the penalty. Craig Dawson gets sent off, and I have to say this: Craig Dawson was doing tremendous. He was making it difficult for Chelsea to break down West Ham, and it was fantastic to see him play the way he was playing. But obviously, he went from hero to zero, and obviously he was let off, when Jorginho misses that penalty, or Fabianski catches it because of how little weight was on the pass into the back of the net. So obviously we know that it wasn't the greatest performance, and when I saw that penalty miss, I was like, yeah, this sums up our performance, because we were dominating the possession, and like we keep saying, every fan will be saying this, and even commentators will say this, that you can dominate the ball all you want. If you don't do anything with that ball possession, then it's pointless to have it. So we saw that happening, and we were taking shots, but none of them were on target. The second half, Chalobah makes a shot from outside the box. Fabianski has to stop it, and that's when our shots started to go on target. West Ham had a similar situation where some of their shots were on target. They were getting free kicks, were crossing the ball in. Mendy did quite well in the game. He was making saves when it was necessary. He was catching the ball, coming out, to make clearances up the pitch. He was making good passes. He was making the decision. It was perfectly weighted. He was perfectly, thought of before he made his decisions, and I respect that. And Mendy is returning to the Mendy slowly that we know with no one love. But people are saying that they want a new goalkeeper coming in, and that's the patterns. But I'm not going to discuss that in this video. But Chelsea were able to get that goal through Pulisic. It was a great movement. Mason Mount made a pass to Alonso. Alonso crosses it in between. Obviously, you could see the impact of not having a centre back in a role, having 10 players on your side. West Ham were unable to block the ball from going to Pulisic. Pulisic shoots into the back of the net. Fabianski struggles to get there, and it goes past him, and it's 1-0 Chelsea in the 90th minute. Tremendous game. The game was boring in the first half. I'm not gonna lie. The second half, the tempo built up. There was more intensity. So it was better to see in that second half. However, we were not making the best decisions when it comes on to taking shots. Obviously, like I said, Mason Mount taking shots outside the box, wasting us opportunities. We had a lot of shots blocked, and Lukaku tends to do good against West Ham. There's a stat saying that he scored 11 times. Obviously, he didn't score today, but he was able to do something that I respect, and that is to work. He was working better, and people have made up their decision about selling him, and I probably concur with that decision to sell him. But I mean, if he stays past the season, I would have no issue with it, honestly, because I don't really see the best strikers we can get. Obviously, people mention Darwin Núñez and your Haaland, who's probably going to Man City. People are saying that he could deal with some issue that Lukaku's having. Obviously, there's a lot of ones as well. Lautaro Martinez is on the way out. Obviously, we have that striker who's at Athletic Bilbao and teams like that. So there are options, but I'm not really sure if those personalities that are being mentioned would really suit in or bed into what we're trying to do. So I'm not sure, but if Lukaku stays past the season, I have no issue with that. But I am slowly, concurring with the fans that want him to be sold. And it's not that Lukaku's not good enough, or probably it's not like he's not a good player. It's just that he doesn't have the attributes or the traits that he needs in order to succeed in the way that we're playing. And obviously, people say that our system may change because we have to be playing with players that Tuchel probably doesn't want all of them. So obviously, people say that obviously next season when he gets a couple of his players, he may find a transition, into a different system, showing that side of him where he can change things. But obviously, we've seen where he changes formations, and I think we saw that when Ziyech came on, we looked as if we had switched the formation to suit him, and he had more space to make it in. Obviously, because for the latter stages of the game, obviously after Craig Dawson got that red card, so obviously there would be gaps and spaces in between. He was taking shots, but it was fantastic. And Pulisic came on as a super sub and he scored. All three subs, or two of the three subs, really made a big impact. Obviously, Lukaku winning that penalty, Pulisic scoring that goal, and Ziyech was making it his to pass. He's getting past players, and he did tremendously well. So it was fantastic, and we scraped out a win. I did say on a lot of streams that I went on that this game was going to end 1-0 to either side. In the end, I decided that I believe that the game would be decided by one goal to Chelsea, and we won. And this is something that's special. We need to be winning games, grinding goal 1-0 results, because we need to get top 4 and we need to stay in that third position, clean sheet, because then try to ensure that we close that gap between us and Man City and Liverpool. The gap is forgive me if I'm wrong, is approximately, I think it's probably 18-17 points. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I think it's 18-17 at the point of this video. Obviously, Liverpool and Everton will be playing soon. So obviously, when I'm recording this, the game probably may kick off. Whenever you see this, probably the game has ended for you, depending on when you watch it. But it was a tremendous game to watch in the second half. The first half was a bit sloppy and boring. We were too predictable. We were crossing the ball into the box a lot, and we didn't really have that presence of a tall player like Havertz, because Havertz was wide. Sometimes he was central, so I'm not going to say that Havertz was wide all the time. He was in central positions, but the passes were either too high for like a Werner, because Werner isn't the tallest player, and obviously the passes were not perfectly weighted, and sometimes we go straight to Fabianski, sometimes we'd be giving away the ball. So it was a difficult situation, but we were able to get a win. I'm happy with it. We scraped out a 1-0 win in the 90th minute. It's tremendous. We need these results. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I don't want this video to be too long, so this is where it ends. Thanks for watching. I'm getting closer to 200 subscribers, 50 away from 200 subscribers at the point of this video. So like and subscribe, share the channel, help me to get to 200 subscribers. See you next time. Come on, Chelsea. The next game is in the Premier League as well. It'll be against Man United. So will Lukaku start? We'll see when that video comes out for my preview of that game, in the week. Peace.